got a lot going for it, don't we? We've got wonderful assets here. We've got a great workforce. We've got diversity. We've got the natural landscape. We've got all of the natural resources that we need to be a great state, but we aren't. You know what we're missing? We're missing leadership. We're missing that individual who has the vision to bring us forward. I can tell you that I know, working in the state capitol, I don't get the sense that there's someone there that cares about us, about the people of Pennsylvania, that understands the issues that all of us face, no matter what our economic circumstances. But Tom, I know you, and I know you are the man that can bring that leadership to us here in Pennsylvania. That is what we need more than anything. Someone to guide us, to show us that we've got what it takes to be the Keystone State again. We do indeed have your back. We need to be there for you on Tuesday. Bring us home, Tom. We want you.
All of you, and thanks for having me back. Could I just make one introduction? This is my wife, Frances. My best friend and love of my life. She put up with me for 39 years. Listen, I really appreciate the comments and the specifics of my platform, but let me just step back and say, what is this about? And not to get too macro on you, but really there are two broad things the election of 2014 is about. It's first about what we're not. And 2014 is a chance to say emphatically, we don't want to do what we're doing right now. We don't want to do that anymore. For the last 3.5 to 4 years here in Pennsylvania, and really in a lot of ways for the last 40 years in the United States, give or take a few years, we have been going down a road that doesn't work. And so, you know, you can't throw any money at any problem and expect to get a good outcome. But whatever you think we ought to be doing in education, it is a priority. In a democracy, we live in a government democracy where we're all free and we are proud of the freedoms we have. One thing that we have done in this country, we were probably the pioneer in terms of broad-based education. It is to say, if you're going to be a citizen, if you're going to be a participant in our economy, we've got to make sure you have an education. I don't care where your parents came from. I don't care what language you spoke. I don't care what you look like, what zip code you come from. This is something we need to do as citizens in a democracy and a free market economy. And if we don't do that, guess who pays the price? Is it just the kids? No. Is it just the parents? No. It's all of us. That's why we do it. We do it because it's in our self-interest to do it. And I don't want to be in a state anymore that doesn't understand that basic fundamental truth.
Yes.
So let's reject that. Second, I want to reject what we've done with jobs. Elections are always about jobs, right? Well, how have we been doing in this state? If you have any objective bone in your body, I don't care who you are, what your partisan identification is, what your ideology is, it hasn't worked. I used to say we went from 9th to 47th in terms of job creation. The Bureau of Labor Statistics just came out with a new report as of September since 2011. We're 50th. 50th. You can't get any worse than that. This is, as Judy said, this is Pennsylvania. I reject that. And if you look at the jobs that have been created, because there have been a few created, the Philadelphia Magazine did an article that showed the good jobs declining. The jobs that are increasing, non-family sustaining jobs. Hey, you know, that's not right. But it's also not smart. And I want to reject that because I don't want to be part of any society where people cannot afford to buy my kitchen cabinets. That's why it doesn't make any sense. You know, it's not just that we're sitting here as partisan, it doesn't make any sense. You can say that to anybody, CEO, I don't care who. Third, I don't like what we've done to our government. We're broke. Did you know that? You know, 2.5 weeks ago, you guys had to take out a payday loan. That's what it was. I mean, a payday loan, not to buy a bridge or a new school building, but to just pay our bills, just to keep the lights on. Milk and bread money. That's not right. If I took my bank to my bank, the cash flow trend that the state of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has right now under this management, my banker would look at me and say, are you kidding? I'm not giving you a loan. You don't have a business plan. We don't have a business plan that works. You can say that to a conservative, you can say that to a member of the 1%, you can say it to anybody, it's not working. And if you really want to get down to honesty, objectivity, it doesn't work. So this election is about saying we don't want to do that anymore. But it's also, as Judy said, about what we ought to be. There is a gap between where we are and what Pennsylvania. We're Pennsylvania. We're not some other state. We're Pennsylvania. And I know we're a modest bunch, but we could do so much better than we're doing. We do have the scenic beauty. We're the Keystone State. We have so many things that we have the second highest number of seats in higher education of any state in the United States. We have 2 world-class cities. We have a history that you would just die for. I mean, this country was started right here. 3 different times. So when you look at where we are, that would be bad enough if we didn't have anything to compare it to. But I think in Pennsylvania, we ought to, in the backs of our mind, compare it to what we could be. If we really took full advantage of our history, of our background, of our location, of our natural resources, of the good people who live and work here, of the education system we could have if we actually took that seriously, the only thing we have to do is make sure that we invest in those things. And we have to make sure that we have a level playing field so that this place is not just open for business to somebody who knows somebody who has maybe given a yacht trip to somebody, or because they live in the right zip code. This has to be a place that's open for business for anybody who wants to work hard, take a risk, devote their talents. We want them to come here.
Yes.
If they come here, if they do a good job here, and they come here, we're going to have the good jobs. We're going to have the robust economy we deserve, and Pennsylvania will be all that it can be. Now, I need you, if you believe that we shouldn't do what we're doing anymore, and if you believe we could do so much more, we've got to make 2014 a time when we actually make that point at the ballot box. That's the only place it really can. Turn out. I don't care what the polls say. I know I'm way ahead, but the polls don't mean anything. They don't mean anything. The only one that matters, as they say, is on November 4th. Now, I'm new at this. I haven't done this before, but that's what I understand. It's still way worse. You can sit on your easy chair in your living room and take all the polling calls you want. It doesn't count. What counts is you going down and casting your vote on November 4th. What counts is getting your family members to do that, getting your friends to do that, getting everybody to come out and do that, because if we do that, we are going to have a fresh start for Pennsylvania, and we're going to do some great things. I think we can show the world. So please help me. Let's get out the vote. This is an important election. We don't want to do what we've been doing anymore. We want to do what we can do, what we should be doing. That's what this election is about. I need your support. Thank you so much.
All right.